Live from the beautiful Hawk Hill on the campus of St. Joe's University, it's time for the big championship game of the year, the Mid-Atlantic Rugby Championship, right here live. That's the scene, live from Hawk Hill, Sweeney Field, where we play the Mid-Atlantic Rugby Championship in just a few minutes. But right now, let's meet the starting players for both teams, beginning with the Westchester Rams.
Shane O'Malley, play tight head. I'm a bio major here at Westchester, and I went to William Tennant High School.
Max Ulo, hooker, pre-physical therapy, Cumberland Valley High School.
My name is Brendan Ailing, aka Keggy. I'm a loose head prop. I'm an exercise science major here at Westchester, and I went to Monsignor Bonner High School.
Dominic Chasey, I play second row. I'm a marketing major, and I went to Exeter Senior High School.
My name's Hunter Smith. I'm a senior, criminal justice major, Doylestown Rugby Club.
My name's Josh Moore, also known as Meatball. I'm a flanker, I'm a chem bio major, and I went to Southern Lehigh High School.
I'm Nick Brancato, I play flanker, I'm a biology major, and I played for Doylestown Rugby Club.
I'm Antonio Valerani, I play 8-man. I'm a finance major, and I went to Salesianum High School.
My name's Nick Udovich, I play fly half, I'm a business major, and I went to Archmere Academy High School.
My name's Ryan Morley, I'm an exercise science major. I play inside center, and I went to Downtown West High School.
My name is Max Bryson. I'm an outside center. I'm a criminal justice major, and I played for Blackthorn Rugby Club.
I'm Jake Sunshine Klecko. I play wing. I'm education major, and I went to Lampeter Strasburg High School.
James Moose McMenamin, play wing, criminal justice major from Warren Hills High School, New Jersey.
My name is Mike Saloom. I'm the fullback. I'm a nursing major, and I attended Westchester East High School.
David Bogues Paliso, wing/fullback, political science major with a minor in global studies, and I went to Conestoga High School.
They are the forwards for Westchester. You met them personally. We were on campus the other day, the backs, and we met Udovich in the pregame show as well. Jake Klecko, a familiar name to Philadelphia sports fans, and now the St. Joe's Hawks.
Griffin McCormick, prop, finance, St. Joseph's Prep.
Andrew Sullivan, hooker, marketing, Xavier High School.
Nick Ballas, prop, risk management insurance, Cranford High School.
Fred Gladys, second row, finance, Westfield High School.
Mickey Chappell, finance, second row, Boston College High School.
Colin Johnson, flanker, sociology, Central Catholic High School.
Chad McMahon, flanker, biology, the Boston College High School.
George Harris, 8-man, food marketing, Fairfield Ludlow High School.
Tanner McElrath, scrum half, finance major, Archmere Academy.
Noah Numatawalu, fly half, economics, Archmere Academy.
Matt Riato, wing, pharmaceutical marketing, Bishop Shanahan High School.
Lee McGowan, inside center, food marketing, LaSalle College High School.
Ram Kesh, outside center, food marketing, St. Joseph's Prep.
Mikey Hoffman, wing, finance major, the St. Augustine Prep.
Connor McAuliffe, fullback, finance, Gonzaga College High School.
And there they are, the St. Joe's backs that you'll be seeing, and we'll be seeing the teams parade onto Hawk Hill in just a moment. The players coming down the gangway now as the fans form a little bit of a corridor for the Hawks and the St. Joe's Rams. As there's the subs for the Hawks and for the Rams on the left, and the rest of the players for the St. Joe's Hawks. Live from Sweeney Field on Hawk Hill, here they come. St. Joe's in their traditional colors.
What a
And David, this is an exciting moment, huh?
Yeah, it really is. The sun's shining, both teams on the field, lots of fans here from both sides, from the St. Joe's team and from the Westchester team. This is going to be a great game.
We want to thank our sponsors, Ambrosi Foods, Vanguard IMD Systems, Bulldog Sports Bar, Hyper Toy Company, BMX, and Lou Tilly Media. And if you're joining us live on Facebook, we encourage you to write in with your thoughts. I'm Lou Tilly along with David New, and there they are at center field, David, and we're getting ready to start.
Yeah, both teams ready to go. It's good to see Coach Shags out with his young boy Carter. It's always good to see some young kids getting excited about the game, and there's young Carter. He'll remember this for a long time.
Noah Numatawalu, one of the co-captains, along with George Harris of the St. Joe's Hawks to your left, and the Rams to your right. Now let's listen in.
Staying warm. I'm sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's contest between the Westchester Rams and your St. Joseph University Hawks. Today's contest is at St. Joseph University at beautiful Sweeney Field. Please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, words so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Might got disconnected right there.
And if you're just joining us live on Facebook, it's the Mid-Atlantic Rugby Championship live from Hawk Hill, Sweeney Field on the campus of St. Joe's University. You just saw the Hawks, and there are some of the fans who have gathered around the home side here of Sweeney Field, also home to Hawk Soccer, Hawk Lacrosse, and their outstanding St. Joseph's University track and field program. And in the shadow of Hagan Arena, the home of the St. Joe's Hawks and Phil Martelli's men's basketball team. I'm Lou Tilley along with David New from Sweeney Field and St. Joseph's University, and we're about to set off the MARC Championship. David, the Hawks are a program on the rise, not only here in the Mid-Atlantic Rugby Championship League, but all across the nation now. They're right on the cusp of national recognition.
Yeah, they've got a special record over the past couple of years. This will be their third MARC championship, conference championship that they will be going for. And just recently in Rugby Today, they were listed as the 22nd ranked team in the nation above D1, D1AA. So that's a fair accomplishment for this program.
That's with some of the big names in the game, right?
Yeah, that's with the Lifes and the Penn States and the St. Mary's and
how's it going?
And Cals of the rugby community of the collegiate rugby space. Yeah, great opportunity for these guys again here and under this platform to come out and show what they're doing. I wouldn't be spending all the time talking about St. Joe's, but Lou, I think Westchester are going to be a really tough opposition here today. Record of 5-1 in the MARC conference, up against St. Joe's was 6-0. The last one was a close one, so this could be a cracker.
They played a couple of weeks ago at Westchester's home field. They play in the football stadium where the Rams football team, very accomplished in their division in Pennsylvania. The St. Joe's Hawks will be moving right to left here in the first half of play, and the 15 from Westchester in the black and gold will be moving left to right in their previous matchup at Westchester in a night game on a Friday night. Beautiful evening. 41-33, the Hawks came out on top after a furious second half comeback attempt by Westchester.
Yeah, it was one of those games, Lou, where I think Westchester were hoping for another minute on the clock, and St. Joe's were hoping that it would finish 5 minutes earlier. So this could be a really good contest. This boy kicking off, Ryan Morley, he had a great game in the last contest between these two teams. Kicked a lot of points. I think he's the leading point scorer in the MARC conference.
And we'll enjoy David's commentary throughout this championship match. And already you see the wind taking effect here. And there's a pretty stiff 15-mile-an-hour blowing right to left as we look at it.
Yeah, that's going to come up short, obviously, from that wind catching that ball. So it looks like it'll be a St. Joe's scrum on the 50. Be an interesting start to the game here with St. Joe's possession.
The Hawks line up a very tough as you would expect, but also very swift through the middle, a very skilled 15. Coached by Shags Yaruso, Dan Yaruso, now in his 5th year at the head of this Hawk program after coming down from Stony Brook. And the Hawks will take control and start to move from midfield.
Yeah, we've got a turnover there. That ball's been knocked on by Aram Kashian. A little bit of a mix-up there between the players, and it's a Westchester ball.
Aram Kashian, one of the
Good strong contact there from George Harris.
Yeah. Harris, one of the co-captains here.
No advantage. That's going to come back to a Westchester scrum. So you see there with that knock on there from St. Joe's, Lou, Westchester recovered the ball and have the opportunity to play some advantage, an opportunity to advance the ball up the field. And if they don't, the referee will bring it back after a couple of phases and set the scrum.
Approximately the size of the soccer field or the soccer pitch as we get underway. Rugby evolved out of soccer back in the 1700s, and then our U.S. football evolved out of rugby. So we're all kind of together, all brothers on this field as well.
Big wide back line here for Westchester. Oh, great work from Tanner McElrath and the 9 for St. Joe's, disrupting there on D'Angelo for Westchester. Still a Westchester ball.
Tanner McElrath, the son of Matt McElrath, one of our big supporters here at St. Joe's, and we wish him well.
Another great contact there from George Harris. He's going to be a force. The referee doesn't like it. Let's see what he has to say there.
So early on, both teams, David, testing each other on the interior.
Yeah, it's going to be some strong contact on the fringes of those rucks. You're going to see some strong carries from both teams, and they'll test each other out and see if they can get the line to bend and perhaps even break. But I think it's an opportunity to sort of position the ball around the field to set something up behind it.
St. Joe's very swift to the edges, solid but very skilled through the middle as well. Westchester, is it fair to characterize them as more of a power squad?
Yeah, they got some big people, and in critical places, in the tight 5, but also in the centres. Big, strong guys in the middle of the field that are going to look to try and dictate. That's a win off the top from St. Joe's. Chad McMahon with the carry.
Chad McMahon wears number 7.
Mickey Chappell with a good run. He could be a force here as well, Mickey. Referee's seen something doesn't like, that Mickey was tackled and didn't release the ball, so that's a Westchester penalty.
Mickey Chappell out of Westfield, New Jersey, a finance major. And so the battle of field position has been very narrow in scope here in the opening minutes. We've counted down just about 3.5 minutes of game time.
Interesting start there. Instead of kicking into the wind, they took a tap, so they're going to look to set the ball. That's turned over again. The referee's not happy. So that's a couple. He's going to talk to the captain here, Noah New, and ask for a little bit of cooperation in the ruck area. Some disruption there from Joe's from probably the last 3 consecutive rucks. I would imagine if there's any more of that, someone might be spending some time sitting over on the sideline.
Big kid in the middle, Hunter Smith there for the Westchester Rams, 6'4", 6'5", 240 pounds, out of Doylestown, Pennsylvania, as they move to the edge.
Ball from Nick, and that's knocked on, unfortunately, there by Mike Saloom. Turned over.
Let's check out some of the Westchester players as they describe their role on the field.
Yeah, my role is forwards captain, and basically my role is to control the forwards and make sure we're all one coherent unit.
Westchester Rams, we'll be hearing from the Rams throughout our telecast today.
St. Joe's scrum, they're on their own 40-yard line, so let's see if they can string together some possessions here. They've been a little bit sloppy. Here's a chance to see what they can do with some ball.
Wow,
nice
they
white
really
ball
spread
from
out
Noah.
the field.
And there's a little slide around the outside from Liam McGowan from LaSalle High School. Great little run there from Liam, recycled by Aram Kashkigan. He's a force. He will be a problem all day for Westchester. He's in the contact. No one is over the top, so the back line are recycling the ball. George Harris with the carry.
Man, what powerful run. That's got to do some damage in the long term.
St. Joe's working hard off the edge here. Noah's come with a nice little slip ball there to Colin Johnson. Noah again. He's got Nick Ballas, who's going to be a Griffin McCormick from St. Joe's Prep, who beats the first tackle. And they're about 30 yards out now. Really looking dangerous, St. Joe's, if they can string together some possession.
Nice cut back.
Colin Johnson with the carry, but he looks like he's isolated. Mickey Chappell's over the top, and Tanner McElrath's there to distribute the ball onto Noah. Noah's pushed it out to George. George has pushed that on to Liam. Cash is going to take the space. He's looking at it. 5, 4, 3, and he's over the try line. Try time for St. Joe's.
Aram Kashkigian with the first try of the game. The 5'8", 185-pounder out of Elmer, New Jersey in South New Jersey. And from St. Augustine Prep, gets the Hawks on the board.
Interesting build-up there, Lou. A couple of possessions there for St. Joe's where they brought it wide to the left side of the field here, down in front of their home supporters, and it was a wide shift. It was from Tanner. Pushed the ball out there to Noah. Noah pushed it to Cash, and he took the space. Unfortunately, I think there for the Westchester fullback, he got a little bit lost in terms of where the try line was, and Kesh walked in untouched. 5-0. Kick to come.
So the kick is worth 2 points in Rugby 15. The try worth 5 points. And the Hawks first to score. They had hoped for a quick start in the first 10 minutes, and they got just that. New Matawalu now to attempt the 2-point conversion. Kicking with the wind. And gets it.
He's happy with the strike. It's interesting, you know, the fullback and kicker for the most recent games in the conference has been Sean McDermott. A change there with Connor McAuliffe coming back from injury.
We've got a little break in the action. Let's go down to Chris here. Well, let's take a look at the replay first, Dave.
Oh, great ball from Liam McGowan. He pushed Cash into space, and that's what they're going to look for, St. Joe's. They're going to look to capitalise on quick ball, turn it over and run it where you're not. Run into spaces. Good footy.
Thumbs up. 7-0 they lead. Let's go down to Chris with a live interview in the seats. Chris?
Thanks, guys. We're currently here with head rugby coach at Archmere Academy, Coach Vaz. Hey, Coach, I know you played professionally rugby overseas. Can you talk a little about the growth of rugby in the U.S. and where you can see it going in the near future?
Yeah, I think the growth of the rugby over here is it's gone from strength to strength. You know, I came over here about 15 and a half years ago, and rugby, was really not on the map. And just seeing it grow over the last 15 years, especially in high schools, it's been really fun to watch.
Yeah, the sky's the limit for this sport, and we can't wait to see what happens. Back to you guys.
Chris McWeese from Temple University, one of our two sideline reporters. I'm Lou Tilly along with David New. We're watching the MARC Championships live on Facebook, and the Hawks have grabbed a 7-0 lead with 32-22 to play in the first half.
Great interview there from Chris. A real personality and character in the rugby space. Marcus Vasilakopoulos, wonderful player for Leeds for many years. Played professionally in England and Australia. It's great to have him over here helping with the growth and the development of the game, and now working in at Glen Mills, but coaching at Archmere. Great strong carry and a great tackle underneath from Noah. Ryan Morley, that's a big boy up the middle of the field. So Westchester have turned the ball over from knock-on from St. Joe's from the kickoff, and now they're in a threatening position about 40 metres out.
Westchester trying to keep this close. They fell far behind in their one meeting in the regular season this year and weren't able to make up the difference and fell 41-33. Their only loss of the year.
It's a nice sneaky little ball inside there from D'Angelo. He'll be crafty around the ruck area, so he's someone that St. Joe's team are going to need to keep an eye on, as is number 10, Nick Udovich, a favourite of mine from Archmere, now at Westchester. Leading try scorer in the MARC at the moment. So kick through for Westchester. Good contest. Kasijan's recovered the ball. He's going to battle into touch, so they're in great field position here, Lou.
Great job at first, but now Westchester in scoring territory. Inside the 22 meters.
7-0. So for St. Joe's, they're going to really have to buckle down here and work hard in this line-out contest. And Westchester with great field position. They've got the ability to catch and drive in this short distance here and drive it over the try line, or they can work the ball wide or to the middle of the field. Tremendous amount of options here. Let's see what they do.
A lot of time and preparation and practice goes into this play.
George Harris has really, really worked hard off of the top there, and they're going to try and work out of their try line. This is risky from St. Joe's.
Yes.
And the ball's just been shoveled along on the try line for Noah to try and clear, and that's a big mistake there.
So a turnover will cost the Hawks.
Yeah, if you look at that situation there, Lou, that Westchester were really working hard to try and bring the ball down and drive. St. Joe's stole the ball, and then there was a lot of indecision. It went from McElrath to Hoffman on to Noah. Noah looked to clear the ball with no space and no time at all. Try.
Here it is.
And look at this replay here. So you see the tremendous amount of pressure. That's a really tough opportunity. That's like in American football, trying to, lateral the ball out of your own end zone.
Very dangerous.
And then look at what the options are and come up with your version in football of the safety. Well, in rugby, that's a try. That's worth 5.
That's worth 5 points. And now Westchester with a conversion attempt from straight on with a chance to tie it at 7.
The left foot kick here from Ryan Sawley. He nice to chip it through. That's 7-all.
We're tied at 7. We have a good one. And the Mid-Atlantic Rugby Championship. Let's go down to Mac Lydon, who has a live guest for us. Matt?
Hey, Lou. Thanks, Lou. I'm here with Trent Mason, sophomore wing.
I'm just going to ask you about a few thoughts on Mark and what kind of teammate Mark was to you.
Well, Mark was one of the best teammates I ever had. I never played rugby before coming here. I told him about like my sport background. He begged me to play rugby. Literally came out to do it for him. He always made you smile. He made you feel better. And like if you messed up, he was always there. And you could tell that he liked to have fun around in practice. And during lifts, me and him would always be dancing. It was just like a stress reliever, and he was like always there for me.
For sure. Thanks, China, and Mark. Mark was a great teammate and great player and great person. Thanks, Lou. Back to you, Lou.
Big trouble for Westchester. It's in Kishkijigan's hands. He's going to take battle for contact, and they're in great field position, St. Joe's.
So the turnover by Westchester, and all of a sudden St. Joe's is knocking on the door. We're tied at 7 in the early going in the Mid-Atlantic Rugby Championship. And here come the Hawks.
Picking and driving. They're going to force their way to the try line as quickly and as short a distance as possible. He's caught Noah on the short side to Mikey Hoffman. Mikey Hoffman, try time. Hold on, let's hold. The referee's checking with the touch judge. Yep, the arm's up. Mike Hoffman on the wing for the try.
Mark Hoffman, number 14, out of Gonzaga, Great Falls, Virginia, 5'10", 170 pounds. And the Hawks have answered. And that is an important thing in any sport. After the turnover on their old goal line, scored the try for Westchester, the Hawks answer in kind, David, mostly because of their defense.
Yeah, it was great defense. And then what we're going to find, I think, in this game is it could be a tale of two halves. Working into the win, Westchester tried to get a kick away. It might have been better served to keep possession instead of kick it. It went up in the air. Noah contested it in the air, and it came down to St. Joe's ball. One space, one contact from Aram Kasijan. Ruck, Noah got a short ball, and he pushed it on to Mike Hoffman for the great try. St. Augustine Prep will be cheering for Mikey Hoffman.
Nick Udovich is the captain of the Westchester Rams. Doesn't want to get this out of control. We talked with him a few days ago to tell us about his approach tonight. First, we're going to try the two-point conversion. And Noah's got the try again, and it looks like this one will sail a little bit right.
12-7, Lou, 12-7. We got ourselves a game, 15 minutes into this one.
I think my main role on this team is to lead by experience. Being coached by Coach David New back in high school has really given me a unique understanding of the game.
Talked with Nick in the pregame show here, live from 6'1", 190 pounds, out of Archmere Academy. Teammates with Noah. This is where David has done a lot of his coaching over the years, out of Delaware. Fine program.
Great athlete, Nick. Basketball, football, and rugby. Comes from a great athletic family. His father, a great footballer at Millersville, and his uncle, Pat, a great footballer at Rutgers.
So here come the Hawks, a good example of how they like to spread the field and then come back to the middle, and a little bit of a break.
Yeah, they'll turn it over quickly. And now it's a matter of can they be patient and pick the right option. They're going wide and out the back here. Now here's some wide ball. Andrew Sullivan pushes on to Mike Hoffman. He's got Griffin McCormick, and then Mikey's got great feet and great speed.
And great fakes.
Sully with the ball back there, and they'll set a ruck. And we'll see where they work off of the middle of the field here.
Good speed for the Hawks on the edges, but they will work back to the middle. And still in control. Oh, big powerful run by George Harris.
George Harris with another great carry into the middle of the field. So Noah's got options here. He'll go left or right, or he'll take through the middle. Oh, and that one's come off the face of Mike Hoffman. Chance for a short ball there. A little bit of a miscue between fly half and winger. They'll fix that up. But again, it's a chance here for Westchester just to try and slow things down.
David, how would you compare the start of this match versus the one we saw a couple of weeks ago at Westchester?
Yeah, similar. The St. Joe's team were a little bit more clinical and a little bit more on with in terms of their pass and catch execution. But Westchester always threw out. You felt like they were going to be in the contest and they were really going to work hard. Looks like we've got a substitution here.
Injured player. That's Braden Ailing, with the loose head prop out of Monsignor Bonner in Clifton Heights, 6'5", 230, and it looks like a leg injury as they try to get him to the sideline safely.
It's replaced by Shane Dortone, who's a force, big, strong player in the front there in the engine room. I'm familiar with his uncle Rick, who was a great local rugby player and a rugby league international for the USA team. So good genes in the Dortone family, and expect Shane to cause some havoc here in the game, especially later in the game.
So a tussle for possession. The Westchester Rams, they're moving left to right on your screen in the black with the gold trim.
Good line speed there from St. Joe's to put pressure on Nick. He was given a poor pass there from D'Angelo, but Nick sort of cleaned up and doing their best to recover in the middle of the field, 10 metres out from their own try line. Great drive through by Mickey Chappell. Could be turned over. No, still Westchester ball.
And backed up inside the 22-meter line in scoring territory for the Hawks.
Be interesting, in the last possession or the last series, they kicked from this situation, but you see now that they're just running the ball. Referee has called St. Joe's offside.
And that backs the Hawks off as they reset and spread across the field. The Rams in control.
Working into the wind, they're going to take the tap. That's their option, so it'll be interesting to see what that looks like in the second half. And St. Joe's chance to run into the wind as well. Penalty count there at the moment. I think it's about 4-0 in Westchester's favour.
Big power run you saw a moment ago from Ryan Morley out of Downingtown Rugby Club. A little bit of a break for the Rams. Near midfield.
Great run from Mike Salom. He'll be a threat at the back. He picked up some loose ball there and really recovered. Turned over by D'Angelo. That's a knock on.
Costly turnover there when the Rams look like they had their best run on of the match so far.
Yeah, and if you look at that setup there in the play that was leading to where we're at the moment, even though the balls weren't executed in balls in front, hands caught, it was a good pickup from Salom at the back, who's a really, really good broken field runner. There's evidence over there that if you give him some space in the back, he's really going to take you on.
So the scrum that you're so familiar with, if you're even a newcomer to rugby, the genesis of the game, the genesis of the offensive line play in our sport of American football. And they lock and struggle, and away come the Hawks. Pitch to the outside, just off.
Well, St. Joe's are just really having some struggles here with in terms of their
positioning a little bit.
Yeah, it's timing and spacing. So you know that'll come. But they'll hope that it will come. They've got plenty of possession and opportunity to really be clinical there, because if you look at that opportunity when catch in that space, he could have really caused some trouble, but he's turned the ball over.
Ryan Morley plays inside center for the Rams. Told us what he's trying to do out there today.
My position is inside center. My main role is to kind of control the center of the field and attack up the middle.
Ryan Morley, 6 foot 200 pounds, out of Glenmore, Pennsylvania. Many local kids in this championship match today. Rams with the ball, moving left to right, across midfield.
Good carry there by Max Bryson. So he's just got the outside shoulder of Connor McAuliffe, who's come up with a one-leg tackle, but they're in a really good positive position here and driving forward. Some space on the outside here if Westchester gets some width and look up.
Instead, they play the power game.
Shane Dortone, I knew that he caused a little bit of havoc there on the edges. Oh, that's a nice tackle from Chad McMahon.
Rams have it.
Nick Udovich with the carry. Nick's being crafty there. He's looking to try and advance the ball, but sit him down in the middle and then push it wide. He's had some success there, so I think he's going to stick to that formula at the moment. But this is good possessions here, constructing faces. It's Westchester working on the edge to that far sideline. Let's see what they have coming back.
Westchester a little tighter approach. Their passing is a little simpler, tighter, closer.
Yeah, and that's good line speed from the St. Joe's team there to shut that down. So it's a good contest on the offensive side of the ball and some good work here on the defensive side of the ball. There's Salom again, who'll work in and outside, and a nice ball on the outside. That's unlucky. Unlucky there. Salom's really working hard to try and create something. He would have wished that his friend Jake Klecker worked harder there for him.
In a case like that, Dave, should you retain the ball, go to the ground, play it safe so that you...
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. You know, at halftime, the coaches are going to look at that and say, listen, hold the ball on those 50-50 passes. But if he flicks it out the back and scores, then the coach is saying, great, really work hard on those opportunities on the outside.
And that's how you get the break. You suck the defender in.
Yeah, it is. And that's an opportunity for the winger there. So, you know, in this game and the spaces that they have, the wingers want to utilise the opportunities and capitalise on those. That's an unfortunate one there for Westchester.
Right at midfield. If you're just joining us, about halfway through the first half, and the Hawks of St. Joe's moving right to left with it right now.
Driving now. This could be interesting now. They're going to have front foot ball collapsing. So they've caught the ball, brought it down, and they've driven to have the ascendancy, and the referee's not happy with big number 1, Shane O'Malley, bringing that ruck down, coming in from the side.
That's the power game, and that was big Griffin McCormick on the carry and with the ball, and now St. Joe's moving right to left. They're in their burgundy and black school colors, the crimson and black, I should say, here at the St. Joe's University at Sweeney Field on Hawk Hill in the shadow of Hagan Arena St. Joe's University hosting the championship game today.
Yeah, good indicator there. That might be something for the St. Joe's coaching staff to really think about as they move into playing into the wind of the second half. Catch and drive and really work hard with the ball in tight and on the ground.
Andrew
Push up a good
Sullivan
lead with the points.
throws it in, and Hawks have it. Here comes the power.
Here they come again.
And now a break to the
broken
width.
away. He's going to look for some help. Oh, nice wide ball from Mickey. What do they got? Great ball there from Connor McAuliffe. Outside. Oh, Matt Riotto has put that one down.
Matt Riotto out on the far flank, number 11, the wing, 6 foot, 170 pounds.
You know what? You can look at it both two ways for St. Joe's at the moment. They can be frustrated about the miscues on the end of the back line, but they should also be heartened by the fact that they're creating space and they're really being able to, pretty much at will at the moment, be able to work the ball from left to right and then create the opportunity they want. Now it's just a matter of executing.
Most of this game has been played on the Westchester half, and as you expect, St. Joe's has the lead at 12-7. Under 19 minutes to go, first half of play, Mid-Atlantic Rugby Championship.
Be interesting to see what the choice is here from Westchester, again, working into a tough wind.
Wind is a factor. We had rain and storms all night. The sun has cleared in time for the match, but the wind has stayed with us. The flags are stiff, blowing right to left as you watch our coverage.
And it hasn't scared the fans away. There's a great group here from
Beautiful.
both schools. It's great to see them out here enjoying some great local rugby for a great opportunity here to move on into the regional and national championships further on down the line after today's game.
St. Joseph's right on the inside of the border with Montgomery County here on the outskirts of Philadelphia. Beautiful old neighborhood here. Westchester, a nice little town about 18 miles away west of here.
Well, that looks like St. Joe's have turned the ball over. They have. They've stolen the ball. It's gone wide now. It's gone through the hands of Liam McGowan. He's thrown a nice ball to Mike Hoffman. Aram Kassijian. Mikey Hoffman wrapping around. Here comes Connor McAuliffe. A hard drive into contact. They've gone short side. McGowan's picked up. He's really worked hard there, Liam. That's great play to work in the back line and connect. Oh, the referee again isn't happy with what he's seen. I think that's hands in the ruck, and I think there's some chatter.
Aram Kassijian comes out with it. You saw him on a little three-man game on the edge with Hoffman and McAuliffe a moment ago.
And I think that's where St. Joe's, again, I mentioned it earlier, they can take some heart in the fact that they've got some opportunity in that it was wide channels and those wide corridors if they have some patience.
I mentioned the three-man game. You almost set up this little triangle on the field there, all across the line, right?
Yeah, if you think of it in this way, Lou, you think of a ball player, you think of a support player, and you think of a strike runner. You have a great opportunity there to create some skilled play in front of the opposition. But it's unfortunate for St. Joe's there in a good position. They've turned the ball over. Loose carry, Westchester scrum. So I think both teams are going to look to try and tidy this thing up.
Westchester, again, backed up near their own end here. Dangerous territory. The Hawks have forced a turnover down here and picked up one of their 2 tries. They did miss a 2-point conversion, and thus we have the 12-7 score.
And if you look at the game, you know, it looks like St. Joe's have had the best of the possession and territory, but the score's 12-7 and there's only 15 minutes left in the first half. So that's going to be an interesting next 15 minutes to see how both of these teams, you know, either gain the ascendancy or be challenged.
There's the scrum, and
oh, that's a great, nice
out.
hole. That's a space up the middle. That's a favourite play there of the St. Joe's team. You've got Noah coming across the field, and we'll see the replay here in a moment, but Mikey Hoffman, he's in for try number 2.
Mikey Hoffman, the try number 3. It happened quickly out of the scrum. He's the wing out of Gonzaga in Great Falls, Virginia.
Actually,
5'10",
I'm going to interrupt you there
170.
because all our fans at St. Augustine Prep are going to be very unhappy with that call of yours. Mikey Hoffman, the pride of St. Augustine Prep, just across the bridge there in South Jersey.
Thank you. Thank you for correcting that.
He might have to fix that up next time that he puts in his bio.
Next
He's put the wrong
next
school.
time the Shags gives me his lineup, he might want to get it right.
Hey, he might have spent too much time at his father's bar at the Thirsty Bulldog. Thanks for your help, Mike, and sponsoring the game here today. You're a good man.
That's right. 1:30 a.m. last night when they put this roster that I'm reading together. So the 2-point conversion now coming for St. Joe's. And New Matawalu will take it again. This is his 3rd kick of the day, Dave. And he's going to drop it.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with the win, so he's just kicked it off the foot. Drop kick, like they used to do in football.
How about that?
Jim McMahon.
Doug Flutie.
Doug Flutie.
Of the Patriots. Last man to complete the drop kick.
19-7.
Let's go down to the sidelines now for a live report. Here's
Thanks,
Chris
guys.
Deweese.
We're currently here with Ben Revac, high school friend and classmate of both McElrath, New Matawalu, and Udovich. Ben, can you talk about what you see your friends get out of the sport of rugby and what they like most about it?
What they like most is they've met a lot of friends over the years of playing rugby, and they love the speed and physicality of the game.
Yeah, definitely. It's very attractive to a lot of young players hoping to start the sport. Thanks. Back to you guys.
Chris, an outstanding young player himself, now at Temple University. He played football quarterback, I think, down at Archmere. Is that right?
Great quarterback, and the gentleman, the young boy that he's talking to, was a great lacrosse player, Ben Revac, a young kid that I've always wanted to recruit to rugby as a scholarship lacrosse player. Fantastic athlete, and he would make a great rugby player.
You know what I like about this scene, David, and I'm just learning, as everyone can tell, is the young people here. So vibrant, the fellowship is great, the camaraderie, and especially to see them here with their parents, side by side, enjoying this great sport before, during, and after.
Yeah, it's everything we love about, a strong community. It's about people working hard for each other, and even if they're against each other, we can find a reason to disagree, but we can find a reason to work together and work hard and have plenty of enjoyment.
Right,
great carry again from Saloom. I'm starting to like him, Lou, at the back.
Right. Westchester in the black with the gold trim, if you're just tuning in. They're moving left to right, and there's a powerful run through the St. Joseph defense.
Great contest, isn't it? It's Shane Dorr turn up against Nick Ballas. Muscle against muscle. Oh, big press up there from Connor McAuliffe. He's come up with a miss, but he's made half of the stop, and Liam McGowan's finished it for him. But Westchester are really looking powerful when they keep this ball in little short spaces, little short windows of the field, and playing off the edges. And they've got St. Joe's on the back foot here.
Fair to say that Westchester's playing a pretty good control form of offense right now. Not making many chances, but making progress.
Yeah, they are. And there's that carry and offload by Nick Udovich, and they push it off to Shane Dortone, who's rumbling. He's held up here. It'll be interesting to see how long the referee allows this to go for.
Wow.
He stood up, and it looks like the ball's held up. St. Joseph killed that ball. He couldn't advance it forward or recycle the ball. St. Joe's ball. No one who came in on the edge there is Shane on the ball carry. And smothered the ball.
Very knowledgeable cheer from the St. Joseph University rugby fans. They recognize what amounts to a goal line stand there by the Hawks.
Yeah, it certainly was, and I'm telling you, 19-7 with 12 minutes left, that was a really, really interesting series of plays. And if you look at Nick Udovich and the influence that he's having on the carry, on the offload, and sucking in 1 and 2 defenders, very, very good play from Nick. St. Joe's are going to have to keep an eye on him throughout this whole game.
Hawks come out of it, then kick it away. With the wind, I might add.
It's back to the 50, and Saloom's got the ball. We don't want to give him too much space here. A nice turnaround and push it off to his weak side winger with the carry. Great strong carry.
Rams breaking into Hawk territory again.
I think that's Max Bryson with the carry on the edge, and they're still coming. St. Joe's are going to look to hold him up again.
Hawks literally dug in and held them off on their last drive.
So if you can see Westchester there, when they come in those close quarters, they're a little high and getting caught up right. And St. Joe's are savvy enough to be able to hold them up, squeeze it, nullify the movement, and then bring it down, and it becomes a St. Joe's.
So the St. Joe's getting lower level and better leverage.
And their focus is on ball, to stop ball, squeeze ball, halt the momentum, and then put them in a position where they're going to turn the ball over.
Put it back in play. You get the feeling that this is a huge possession if they can get it for Westchester, down 19-7.
Big possession. That was a great return from them as well. It looked like it was a kick that was going to clear for 50 meters. And they turned it around. That fullback at the back, Mike Saloom, he's been threatening every time.
So St. Joe's now has to be careful.
Harris with the carry. Chad McMahon with the catch.
And a break.
He's taken the middle of the field himself.
Still on the go.
Udovich with the tack and the turn away. Oh, the referee's going to call that's high contact on the shoulder. The fans aren't happy about it.
Oh, the Westchester fans not happy at all after what looked like a takeaway by the Rams, and possession will go to the Hawks.
And the one good thing about this is they'll be able to see the replay later tonight. "10 minutes to go in this first half." It's a great contest so far. 19-7. St. Joe's with the win. 3 tries to 1. But as much as the scoreline reads a difference of 12 points, I think Westchester are going to be fairly happy. Yeah,
it feels closer.
It does. St. Joe's have done well to hold them out in those couple of series where they've really run the ball strong and push the ball upfield. But something tells me that there's a little bit of movement here either way right before halftime.
St. Joe's will control it.
Nice catch and drive. Nice catch and drive. Splintering off now. The ball's down and over the top.
Driving again and right down there in the middle. as St. Joe's comes away with it.
Oh, we got space on their side here again. This guy can fly. Whew. Connor McAuliffe can run. That's a great open field tackle from our friend there, Max Bryson.
Colin McAuliffe out of St. Joe's Prep, Haddonfield, New Jersey.
Interesting call from the ref. He decided to insert himself in the game there and call a forward pass.
What do you mean by that? He inserted himself in the game. You thought that was a frivolous call, like he didn't let him play?
You know, that's a game of lateral passing, so you'll see a lot of balls very similar to that throughout the whole game on both sides. But he's chosen to be involved in that one, and you know.
He said it drifted forward?
He saw it, yeah, it moved ball forward from hands to the receiving player. So fair call. Ball set up in the middle of the field now, and it's Westchester's turn.
One of the locks in there for Westchester, number 5, Hunter Smith out of Doylestown, 6'5", 240 pounds, told us why he loves this game of rugby.
I chose to play rugby because it's a great experience for anyone, any size, any age, and I love the camaraderie.
Met him before the game. Good-looking young man there, Hunter. 6'5", 240 pounds, and he's a force and a good athlete. So Westchester retaining the clock down to 8:25 in the first half. St. Joe's is leading for the Mid-Atlantic Championship, 19-7.
Strong carry again there from Salom at the back. Kashijin Aram come over the top, and the referee deemed that he's potentially off his feet, but it looked like it was a turnover. Another strong carry there from O'Malley. The Bash brothers, O'Malley and Dortone, are really creating some havoc on the edge of the ruck here.
The Bash brothers, O'Malley, 5'11", 220 pounds.
Nick Dortone with a carry, and he's through.
Good tackle.
Half through the line there, Nick. It looked like he might be able to slip another good ball, but some good footy here from Westchester again.
Shoestring tackle. Westchester maintaining that they've possessed the ball probably the greater part of this first half.
Referee involved again. He's not happy with something. I think he's going to talk to the captain, and I think he might reach for his pocket here. Let's look at it. 7.5 minutes left, 19-7. If St. Joe's at the score, that could be telling for the second half. But if Westchester are to score here, we could be in for a real cracker of the second half here, Lou, with these teams very, very tightly contesting the strong wind in the second half.
You see some of the chests heaving on the Westchester side here on our close-up shot on the monitor as we go live now. The resumption of the play midway into the St. Joe zone. Here comes the Westchester Rams.
Good tackle from Colin Johnson. Noah over the top. That's a big, strong carry again from Ryan Morley. D'Angelo's taken off from the edge.
Angelo.
Nice run from D'Angelo, the scrum half for Westchester. He's looked to be a little cheeky every time off the edge of the ruck there. They've got to keep an eye on him.
Nick D'Angelo out of LaSalle College High School in North Wales, Pennsylvania.
Good tackle from Mickey Chappell. They're going to work that short side again. They're going to keep going where there's less St. Joe's players, and they've got some success there. I can't quite see the number, but that's a great try on the edge there.
How about that, David? It's kind of hard to tell from our angle there, but they have crossed the goal line and put up 5 points.
They have.
And that was a big score, Dave. They've been threatening 3 times now, deep in St. Joseph's territory, but this time push it across.
Yeah, that's an important score right before halftime. Into the wind. Westchester and their coaches, they're going to be very happy with their performance here in this first half to keep within the contest and then run home with the wind behind them. But for St. Joe's, you know, it's fairly weak defense on the fringe of the ruck there. It was just pick and go, pick and go, pick and go try.
How tough is this kick into the wind now?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. But from what we saw the other night and we've seen throughout the season with this kicker, Ryan Morley, he hits it low. So he's going to try and take the wind out of out as a factor.
So like a knockdown golf shot.
Yeah, and I think on his left foot here, I'm going to back him in, Lou. I think he's half a chance.
No.
Pretty close from our angle, but the touch judges say no.
I think he hooked it just a hair. Let's go down to Matt Glyden with a live report before we resume play. Matt?
Hey, Lou. Hey, Dave. I hope you guys are nice and warm in the booth because the wind's starting to pick up out here a little bit, getting a little chilly. But I'm here with Tyler Kelly, the notorious hitter that graduated from St. Joe's in 2017. TK, can you give us a little insight about on how St. Joe's rugby program has changed since you were here to what it's become now?
Well, I mean, from a physical aspect, it's changed a bit. Their physical identity has evolved to more of a kind of a uniformly lean team. They've kind of ditched those prototypical fat guys you'll find in the pack and gone for that speed package kind of. But and then I'd say identity-wise, it hasn't. I kind of see it as being pretty similar to like our team in that we've been brought together by a bunch, like both travel, like you guys, this team has been all around the world. I mean, from Bermuda to Cali to up and down the East Coast and everywhere else. So travel brings you together, and of course, I guess like tragedy kind of brings you together too. It's like its only unifying property. So with the loss of Mark, and similar to our year when we lost a good friend on our team, Neil York, that's like its galvanizing properties kind of make the team identity just kind of an amplified kind of progression of where we were. So I like it.
Thanks, TK. Good to hear from you. Back to you, Dave. Back to you, Lou. Thanks.
The notorious TK. Back to the action.
Westchester with a good possession here, and they're threatening again with 4 minutes to go in this first half. It's going to be a good battle here to see if St. Joe's can hold them out or at least get some possession. It feels like it's been all Westchester for the last 10 or 15 minutes, Jeff.
Yeah, it's almost a ball possession game.
Dortone with a strong carry. He's lurking out on the edges there, so he could be really effective and dangerous.
And if
if
you're new to the game, the rules we're playing, there is no limit to the number of plays and downs. As long as you maintain possession, you can take it all the way to the end zone.
Yeah, within the laws, if you can hold that ball, you can keep it as long as you like. Salam on the outside with a nice wide ball.
He's a tough player.
He's a tough player. Well, there you go. He's holding the ball. The St. Joe's fans will be happy there. That's the first time the arm's been bent their way. I think the wind might have been blowing it the other way for the most of that first half. Oh.
And a big round of applause as they show the yellow card.
The referee's not happy with the talk. So Nick's going to spend 10 minutes contemplating what just happened. Then I think there was a little bit of back chat.
Nick Udovich.
Could be costly. 3 minutes to go.
Big kid.
St. Joe's Noah can push this ball into some really dangerous territory here for Westchester.
So he goes off for 2 minutes.
No, 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Oh, the yellow. Yeah.
Yellow card.
Yeah, yellow.
So let's look at this, Lou. Let's see at the line out if St. Joe's catch and rumble in. This could be interesting. So they're about 22 metres out, 23 metres out now from the Westchester try line. 2 minutes 30 left. 19-12 St. Joe's.
There we go. St. Joe's Hawks in crimson and black will move right to left with possession here. And leading by 19-12. 3 tries to 2. The Hawks with the edge. They won their previous matchup just 2 weeks ago, 41-33 at Westchester. But they led comfortably throughout. Now they play it wide.
Westchester is short a player here now. To Liam McGowan. Nice hold from Connor McAuliffe.
And the wingman was running wide open.
Quick recycle. Mickey Chappell round the corner. There's the issue for St. Joe's. It's maintain possession for a phase and a half, 2 phases, then turn the ball over. That'll be frustrating to all the players and the coaching staff. So that's something that Shags is going to have to address at halftime to try and execute a little bit on the edges there when they've got some ascendancy.
When you're down a man, Dave, what kind of adjustments do you make defensively?
Yeah, so if you look at Westchester, you would think that they would pull a forward out of their scrum to make sure that you've got even numbers match. But because it's their feed, I think they're going to feel comfortable that they're going to win the possession,
right?
And then they'll work into some space with the personnel that they have.
Their feet on the scrum here.
Mm-hmm.
Hoping to get possession and push out of their own territory. Backed up now with down about 1 minute left on the running clock and trailing 19-12.
Yeah, I think they're going to be happy to try and get through this next minute and get to the halftime break, regroup, and then think about running home with the wind. Oh, they've pushed the ball wide here, and everything I said, they've gone against it, and they look like they'll have an opportunity. Klecko on the edge.
Jake Klecko for the Rams. They're in their purple, black, and gold. The Westchester colors. Coming up at the half, stay with us. We'll be telling you about the newest form of professional rugby on the horizon here in America, Super Sevens, that David knows something about. We'll be talking about that, and we'll show you a special video all about Super Sevens coming up at the half.
And speaking of the half, Lou, I think the two teams are going to go into this break with interesting perspectives. One, the Westchester team thinking we just worked our way into this game by playing into a strong breeze and only 7 points behind. And St. Joe's been a little deflated that they've been able to not been able to convert some of these opportunities into points.
And David said it's true in any sport. When you let a team hang around and get their confidence, they become dangerous.
Absolutely.
Westchester comes out with it. Better part of 90 meters to try and score a tie try before the end of this half.
Max Bryson with the carry on the edge there, and that looks like the sound of the hooter for half-time, so it'll be on the referee now. Noah has a chance on the weak side of the field here. St. Joe's turned the ball over. That was an interesting turnover.
Noah New Matawalu, and they're in scoring territory. We're not sure how much time might be left, but they're allowed to play out the sequence.
Yeah, this could be tough for Westchester here. They've really worked hard to be in this game and keep it close with no time on the clock. That looks like a knock-on from St. Joe's. Great stop there from Westchester. Right on halftime. They're going to be very happy with that going into the break.
So we go to the break. You're watching the Mid-Atlantic Rugby Conference, their championship game, live from Sweeney Field on Hawk Hill in Philadelphia. And the hometown St. Joe's Hawks lead the Westchester Rams 19-12. We're at the break, and before we go away, let's go down to Chris DeWeese with a live guest.
Thanks, guys. We're currently here with Mike Udovich, older brother to Nick Udovich, one of Westchester's great players. Mike, I know you never played the sport yourself, but can you talk about how much rugby means to Nick and what you can see in your little brother?
Well, personally, I still don't understand the full rules, but I've been watching my brother play now for a little over 4 years. He started back in high school with Archmere, and here today he's got a couple of teammates he's playing against in Tanner and Noah. And, you know, just over the years I've seen him grow with the sport, and he's just learning as much as he can about the sport and everything, and it's fun to watch, and I'm still learning. I love watching him play. I know it means a very big deal to him.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Thanks, guys. Back to you in the booth.
Chris, who threw the ball back at Archmere Academy, to Mark Dombrowski, who we've heard referenced throughout the broadcast. If you're new to this and just joining us, and here are some of the fans that have turned out on Hawk Hill. That's the St. Joe's crowd to our left. To our right, the Rams have come down from Westchester. Mark lost his life back in the spring in a strange and still mostly unexplained accident in Bermuda, and we'll be referencing him and telling you where you can help out, like right now, the Mark Dombrowski Foundation. You got there by typing in markdombrowskifoundation.org. We talked with his mom, Lisa. We heard from his dad, JJ, and Kevin in the pregame, and we'll be talking about this. We're at the half right now, and I want to talk about the newest and most exciting form, the fastest form of rugby on the planet. It's now an Olympic sport. It is gaining in popularity right here at St. Joe's University. These boys will transition to 7 as soon as the 15 season is ended. And David, you're behind a new league that's coming to the United States shortly.
Yeah, it's a league that we, in partnership and in collaboration with John Prusmack, who's one of the founders and the operators and the leaders of the development of rugby events in the country, the Las Vegas Sevens, the Collegiate Rugby Championship, also owns the Rhino Rugby brand. So a guy that's been embedded in the rugby community for many, many years, both on the commercial side and as an official and as administrator. And we've looked at the sport, and we've looked at the opportunity, and we believe that there's a position for a professional format of rugby sevens in the US, based on opportunity for the athlete base that's here out of the collegiate programs as they work out their way out of graduating out of college, and into an opportunity to play the game where it can be played not just in a tournament format where you'll have teams come together over the course of the weekend and play 2 7-minute halves. We believe that there's an opportunity to create the game so that it's 4 12-minute quarters. Sounds and looks very American, and it'd be expanded to an hour's worth of entertainment that's city-based, that you would have franchises play against each other, LA against New York, Philly against Washington, D.C. So that's the exciting part, and that's the process in terms of we're working through a capital raise to make sure that these things are, and these businesses are funded and run properly. For most of these operations that are out there in any type of sport, they're undercapitalized, and that becomes an issue.
And here's more about Super Sevens rugby coming to these shores soon.
The fastest growing sport in America is about to get a turbo boost.
The guy with the ball, center of the lane, open space for
Introducing Super Sevens Rugby, the next evolution of one of the most popular sports, and the newest to be featured at the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro. Launched by United World Sports, the owners and operators of the largest rugby events in North America, including the world-famous USA Sevens International Tournament and the Collegiate Rugby Championship. Super Sevens Rugby will be America's first professional rugby league that will feature an extended version of the thrilling Rugby Sevens format to be played in the Olympic Games. The new and exciting patent-pending format will feature 60 minutes of playing time, a 6-minute halftime, breaks between periods, 21-player rosters, unlimited substitutions. By combining the high speed and electrifying elements of Olympic-style Rugby Sevens with a more television and fan-friendly 60-minute version, Super Sevens Rugby sets the stage for a multi-city league that is sure to attract millions of sports fans, top-tier sponsors, and valuable television audiences. For more information on Super Sevens Rugby, contact us today at info@unitedworldsports.com.
And we thank John Pushman and United World Sports, the curators of the CRCs in Philly and the Super Sevens out in Las Vegas coming up in March. And I'm with David New and the Super Sevens Rugby League coming your way. And here's an overview of some of the changes you've made.
Yeah, and you know what, and they aren't dramatic changes. You know, in terms of duration, it's 4 12-minute quarters. We talked about creating 60 minutes to 90 minutes of entertainment. So it's packaged for television. It's packaged for in-event, in-arena entertainment, but also one of the differentials related to the rules is that we'll have rolling subs. You know, we'll have these players rolling in and out, a little bit like hockey, where they can come in and out, breaks between quarters, the rosters, and a one coach's challenge per team per quarter, which is, again, a little bit authentically American. But one of the other large differentials for us is that we're going to have professional men and professional women, and we're going to pay them the same.
Oh, I like that.
So that in and of itself, we believe, is groundbreaking and historic, and it's prescient. We think that it's meant to be. That's the way that we like it.
I'll get Billie Jean King to come out to one of our matches. She
I would
will
love that.
Really appreciate it. Let's take a look.
That
If you're
would be
just
wonderful.
joining us, it's the Mid-Atlantic Regional Rugby Championships here at St. Joseph's today. We're at the half, and the Hawks of St. Joe's lead the Westchester Rams by 19-12. If you're just tuning in, here's a look back at some of the action from the first 40 minutes of play. 3 tries for the Hawks. They're moving right to left.
Yeah, and a great try here from Aram Kashigan. We knew he'd be a force and a factor. He ghosts into space in untouched try. So that was the first of his efforts there, and then the turnover in the end goal area. That's disastrous there for St. Joe's. And you see the try scorer we didn't call at the time was Nick Yudovich.
Yeah. Who's off right now with a yellow card.
Goes short side here with Noah. Noah works the short ball there to Mike Hoffman. 2-3 yards, up, under and over. Try time. Third try for St. Joe's. A little like sneaky play here when Noah shows it to the 12 on the cross. And Mikey Hoffman comes from that weak side wing up that inside channel, unaccounted for. Mikey's second try.
And here's the last score. Goes to Westchester.
And this one was telling. This is the one that we talked about. If these guys can continue to rumble upfield, work hard into this win and give themselves a chance of only being 1 try down before halftime into this strong wind, I think they would have said, yes, we'll take it. Great try by the hooker, Max Ullo.
Yeah, the more I watch, Dave, the more I appreciate the subtlety of your son, Noah Numarualo, who played an excellent first half there and made the key passes on every one of those 3 tries. He's like an option quarterback out there, isn't he?
Yeah, that's the position. So, you know, fortunately for us, for St. Joe's, that we have a player that can understand the game with a high IQ and some skill that can guide these guys around the hill. From a personal point of view, I think Noah's going to be a bit disappointed in the execution at the back end of some of those opportunities.
Second half getting ready to go. Let's go down to Matt with one interview before we kick it off.
How's it going? How's it going, guys? Thanks, Lou. Thanks, Dave. I'm here with the Mr. Hoffman, the father of the fastest rugby collegiate player in the nation, Mikey Hoffman. Mr. Hoffman, can you tell me a little bit about how you played football and transferred over to rugby in the middle of your career, and how football players now are doing that and transferring over to rugby?
So what happened, Matt, was back when I was a football player, I was probably 5 foot, and all of a sudden I had a guy that kept saying to me, play rugby, play rugby, play rugby. I'm like, no, I'm a football player. So I transferred over to rugby because I was 5 foot and I could play the game. Not as fast as my kid, but, hey, I could hit people. So, and then I grew, and I still didn't want to be in the scrum, so I stayed in the backfield like you guys. So it was a great transition, and I think every sport could play rugby. Basketball, baseball, there's opportunity.
Awesome.
So.
Thank you, Mr. Hoffman. Back to you, Lou. Back to you, Dave.
And we've kicked it off for the second half of play with St. Joe's on top, 19-12, and trying to hold on for another league championship.
Big restart and a recovery there by Westchester. So we'll see how these things shake out here. Westchester did really well working into the win. Let's see what St. Joe's going to be able to do with a strong wind in their face in the second half.
Westchester with the gold, black, and purple, moving right to left now on your screen. The Hawks reverse sides and move from left to right, and the crimson and black.
So Westchester look like they've made their intentions clear, and that is that they want to play out of their end with the wind behind their back and really put some pressure on this team from St. Joe's and see what they can come up with.
And so they kick it away, and there is Noah on the move. New Matawalu with the carry up near midfield. And the Hawks start from there.
Tom Gibbons with the carry. He's come off the bench and come back from injury, so that's an interesting change that's been made by St. Joe's. It looks like Gibbons is on for Gladys in the second row.
And a strong run. Hawks still control. Little different feel to their attack here in the second half already.
Yeah, they might be able to try, might be looking to play a little bit more direct and use the wind. That's been taken away from Liam McGowan. Nice steal there from Josh Moore. Kick from D'Angelo. They've made their intentions very, very clear.
What do you mean,
that
Dave?
They're going to kick the ball. They're going to kick at every opportunity they can. D'Angelo's recovered the ball, and he's on
So
the
they're
chase.
playing field position.
Going to play field position, and I think what they're going to say to St. Joe's is, we're going to kick it into your end. We're going to force you to bring it out, and if you're good enough to maintain the lead, well, so be it. But we're going to make you work for every inch and every space of the field back into this strong wind.
This is an energized Westchester team that came in as a clear underdog. They met a couple of weeks ago. It was a deceptively decisive win for St. Joe's. The final was 41-33, but they led most of the way before the subs started to come out. But here, Westchester is playing with some purpose.
They certainly are, and I think we've got a great contest. You know, we've got the next 38 minutes of really, really, really exciting rugby here.
Nick Udovich off. Their captain, and here come the Hawks.
Connor McAuliffe up into a stiff wind
Look
here.
out.
And he's found Chad McMahon. Can he have the speed to go? Number 7. He can go all the try time with a thumbs up. Chad McMahon.
Chad McMullen, the flanker out of Sacramento, California, carries the last 40 meters for the Hawks and the try. And what a big turnaround, Dave, when all of a sudden they were backed up against their own end. They break it out for a try.
Yeah, and that's how quickly St. Joe's can strike. So they worked hard to come out of bad ball, out of a really tough situation with a lot of field in front of them. They decided to go wide. They pushed it out, and it ended up in the hands of Connor McAuliffe, who went up the middle of the field and found a well-worked, hard-working flanker who did a great job to be where he was at the end of that play and score the try, 40 meters. Chad McMahon, and in fact, he is from Boston College High School. Boston.
Back in the game, now trailing 33-12. We apologize for the technical difficulties. We lost all power here at Sweeney Field. We are back up. Meanwhile, St. Joe's powered away during the break, scored another try. They lead Westchester 33-12.
Yeah, try from Noah, conversion from Liam McGowan, but Westchester are pushing out. There goes Nick Udovich. He's got the thrown a dummy and catch and carry, and it's a try. Westchester are happy.
Westchester with what you would almost call, Dave, a must-have score. Nick Udovich, their captain, who we talked with in the pregame show, out of Archmere Academy in Delaware, puts it across. It narrows the margin to 33-17. It was 19-12 at the half, and St. Joe's came out with a long counter for a breakaway try. And then Noah, as you mentioned, with a try of his own to put them up big, but this was a must-have score for Westchester.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Nick scored his second try, Nick Udovich, and you know from that distance and in that range, Nick is going to have a crack. And he certainly did. Through the dummy, pushed up through hard into the last tackle contest, and he's too strong for that. Nick's going to score every time. That's Nick rebounding down low on the basketball court. Great work from Nick. 33-19, 29 minutes to go.
Now that is technically a 2-score spread. If you can hit a 5-point try and the 2-point conversion, 2 scores would tie it for Westchester, as they're now down by a pair. 28:45 to go. We are back up live. If you're watching us on Facebook, we had a total loss of electricity here at Sweeney Field on the campus of St. Joe's University. We got the power back. We rebooted our computers, got our cameras back in sync, got our audio up, and if you're just rejoining us, it is now 33-19. The home field St. Joe's Hawks leading Westchester with 28:18 to go in the Mid-Atlantic Rugby Championships. I'm Lou Tilley along with David New.
Here they come, Westchester. That's a great ball on the outside. That's Bryson. He's got Noah to beat. Noah's gone low and taken him at 40 meters out from their try line.
Great tackle by Noah Numatawalu, number 10 for the Hawks, saving a score.
Tell you what could be telling here, Lou, is that the substitutions, the changes that both teams can make, some strategic ones for the last 20, 25 minutes of this game, because it's going to go all the way to the wire.
Got some fresh legs?
Yeah, I think that's going to be needed on both teams. There's the ball on the outside again there.
Oh.
Unfortunately, that was a good carry from Ryan Morley, but lost the handle just at the end. And here comes St. Joe's on the counter.
And quickly
Hoffman
to the
edge.
outside.
Here he goes. He's isolated. He's on his own. And thrown into touch on the 40-meter line.
And back and forth we go.
A quick throw in from Westchester. They didn't wait. They just started straight away. And here they are on the offensive again.
And there's a man down.
Ryan
for
Morley
St. Joe's.
straight up the middle of the field. He's got one to beat. No, Noah Nu's gone low. Made a great tackle. Oh, he's presented that ball. The referee's got his arm up.
There's an injury on the field. Out of midfield on the St. Joe's
Colin
side.
Johnson's down.
Colin Johnson has been down for the last 45 seconds for this entire attack by Westchester. And so were it not for Noah on the back line, he saved a score again, Dave.
Yeah, great tackle at the end there at the back. And the referee, well, interesting. He's sin-binned Mickey Chappell for some reason in that contact area. I have to see the replay on that. But it looked to me like the player was tackled and didn't release the ball. It looked like he was trying to exchange the ball off the floor. And Mickey came in, maybe he came from the side, and the referee's disputing the fact that he didn't allow him to play. Send him to the sin bin.
And here come the Rams. Ryan Morley battering in the inside.
So you've got the Rams at full strength now, and you've got St. Joe's down to 14 men. Wide ball from Nick.
Ooh, dangerous
Connor
ball.
McAuliffe up for contact, and it's just a glancing blow, but Westchester keep possession.
The players on the edge for St. Joseph's on defense really pressing the coverage now.
Yeah, the referee's involved again. It's been a good game, and you like to see some flow and some things to both teams to have a crack and determine the game. Whistles are for at the moment, but you know, he'll be able to look at the tape. I'll be able to look at the tape. We'll all be able to look and see. But
I hear you.
It's called Westchester off their feet. Great attacking position,
Great.
driving, have the ascendancy, and taking the ball from them.
And great back and forth action here in the last 5 minutes of play since we came back from our technical difficulties. St. Joseph still on top by 2 scores at 33-19 with a lot of time to play here in a raucous second half of play for the Mid-Atlantic Rugby Championship.
An interesting choice there from St. Joe's. You looked at Westchester in the first half into the wind. For penalties, they took a tap and ran. St. Joe's went to the sideline. Line out. It looks like they feel like they have some ascendancy here. So St. Joe's line out.
So we apologize. We have not been able to reestablish our scoreboard and our score strip. I'll mention it often, David. 33-19 St. Joe's leads Westchester. 25 minutes to play in the second half of regulation. Here at St. Joe's.
And the game in the balance here, a try either way here can really, really, really determine whether this game goes away from Westchester or St. Joe's or Westchester really, really come back into the fold. And that there's going to help them. Simple catch and pass and a drop ball there from Connor McAuliffe.
It had such promise, the Hawks using the entire 60 yards of 60 meters of width of the field and then turn it over. And here come the big, powerful Rams who have had maybe the better part of ball possession in this match, but still trail by 2 tries and conversions.
Yeah, defensively, you know, in the middle sections of the field, St. Joe's have been pretty good. It's when Westchester get within the tight quarters in the red zones that have been really effective. So let's see what happens there. They're about 20 meters out from the St. Joe's try line with a big, wide, open back line.
And the half will throw it wide for the Rams, nearly a bobble. Cut back against the flow. Westchester still in possession. And the wind at their back here in the second half, which still could be a factor.
Going to the middle of the field and then come back to the direction where the scrum was. Interesting to see if they maintain that. Here they come again.
Using their powerful inside straight-on game. This guy has been a workhorse.
Phil Lanetti on the field now with the tackle down low. Replacement from St. Augustine Prep. There goes Nick with the carry again. Noah's over underneath and over the top.
Nick Udovich,
Westchester recycle,
who was shown a yellow card and had to sit for a good long spell in this match. And
he'll snipe from there. The scrum half very careful. He's dangerous on the fringes.
Great opportunity for the Rams.
Again, we talked about that they have tremendous success coming off the fringe. Now they've got a matchup that they want out here. Winger against winger. George Harris with the tackle and the try.
Mike Hoffman not able to make the tackle on the far edge. Instead, they cut back to the middle and cross the line for the 5 points.
Try by Max Bryson. Some weak defense on the outside there from St. Joe's. Matt Riotto came up with a miss. George Harris tried to work the wrestle move in the end zone, but didn't work out. Dropped to the ground for a try. 33-24.
Max Bryson and the Rams, after falling 3 scores behind, have put back-to-back tries on the board here since we came back on the air and have narrowed it to 33-24. St. Joe's leads it 33-24. 22 minutes, 14 seconds, and the clock ticking as you have a good angle on the 2-point conversion here for Westchester.
Yeah, the old left foot of Ryan Morley. It's been really reliable throughout the season, and I wouldn't hesitate to see him poke this one between the poles here at the moment.
And he has the wind behind him. Storms all last night. The wind has stayed with us, and he may have hooked it. Nope. You know, I think that wind actually helped it. It started the hook to the right and came back through. A big 2-point conversion for Westchester.
Used the wind nicely. So here come Westchester. I'd like to know the laws or the rules here, Lou. If it's a tie at the end of this game, that'll be interesting to find out.
And that has narrowed it to a 1-score deficit for the Rams. They thought they were out of it a few moments ago. Listen to their fans for both sides coming to life now because we're going right down the home stretch. St. Joe's on top by just 7. 33 for the Hawks, 26 for Westchester, and 21 minutes and 15 seconds to go as we kick it away and into the wind.
Westchester with the ball now again. The great collect from the kickoff. See how they work this possession. They've pushed the ball wide and they've got a good matchup again. There comes Bryson, being really strong.
Bryson across midfield. A run of about 35 meters. And he has been explosive. And now a turnover.
That could be costly there. They had some real momentum.
Big turnover go to the Hawks after the Rams have traversed the length of the pitch to score consecutive tries and cut a once 21-point deficit to just 7 at 33-26. St. Joe's leads it with 20 minutes, 23 seconds to go. Let's go downstairs for a live report real quick.
Hi, thanks, guys. I'm currently here with a good friend of mine, Matt McCarthy, fellow Temple Owl. Matt, I know you're currently working for the Eagles and you're a huge football fan. Can you talk about the parallels you see between the sport of football and rugby?
I mean, rugby and football, you know, there's a ton of parallels, but the one thing I want to talk about is the defense. You know, when you have the ball carrier right in your sights, you want to wrap up as much as you can because, honestly, if you get the low pad level, in this case low shoulder level, honestly, the runner is really going to break the tackle, and then you can be gone, you know, 50 yards or whatever. In terms of offense, obviously there's no really forward pass, but then you've got the pitches, you've got the option plays. So that's really what you see from football is because you can pitch it, and then on defense you can really lower your shoulders and get really into the tackle. So there's a lot of parallels between football and rugby.
Yeah, very similar, but very different in many ways. Thanks. Back to you guys in the booth.
And while we were away, you saw it, the Hawks with a little bit of a break into Rams territory, trying to reestablish some momentum on their side, but Westchester has it back now. They're trailing 33-26. Hawks on top of the Rams. 33-26, 19 minutes, 13 seconds to play in regulation.
Yeah, St. Joe's are playing, not enough execution on the end of some of the phases here. Yeah, they came up with a great play off the back of the scrum and then a poor turnover from a loose soft carry from George there. I mean, there's too many of those, and they're not going to be happy about it. So here they come on the counter.
Yeah. Oh, nearly a turnover. Rams fans on their feet as they smell a tying try.
Yeah,
in
putting
the
a lot
offing.
of pressure on themselves, St. Joe's. That again, they're into a stiff breeze. They're not sure whether they want to kick to try and get themselves out of some bad field position or shift the ball wide. And we see the byproduct of some loose passes and some loose carries.
If you're watching on the Rugby Red Zone, you're probably tuned in here now because we've got an upset alert as Westchester is challenging St. Joe's on their home field. They trailed by 21 at one point here in the second half, but have scored consecutive tries, and right now we stand at St. Joe's 33, Westchester 26, 18 minutes to go on the second half clock. Lou Tilley along with David New.
Big scrum here, Lou. They've got some options on the left and the right, and they've gone to their wide right. Nick Judovic again, he likes to do that.
He breaks free! Judovic heading for the try!
It's just a simple cross and a carry, and he's gone right through and scored his third try. Great carry from Nick.
Nick Judovic, who played for David New at Archmere Academy, is showing a captain's courageous gumption here in the second half. And Westchester with the try can come, or rather with the conversion, can come all the way back from 21 down to tie this with 17 minutes and counting.
Yeah, we saw this in the last time these two teams met. There was some space between them on the scoreboard, but certainly not in the minds of the Westchester team. Nick's put them on their shoulders, at his own shoulders at the moment, and carrying this Westchester with a strong breeze at their back to level the score with the kick to come. But it looks like he'll knock this one through the post. There it is.
And it's good.
33-all.
The 2-point conversion is good. And Westchester, when we lost you for technical difficulties, down by 21, has come back to tie it. Here's Nick Judovic talking about why he loves this sport.
One thing I would explain to people about rugby is that it's a team sport and everybody has to do their job in order for the team to come out on top.
Big Nick, he told us in the pregame we want to play this game the way we played the second half 2 weeks ago, and they're doing just that.
They certainly are. And you know what? The smart money might say that the team with the wind at their back have the upper hand here at the moment. So we'll see if these guys can maintain possession and put some more points on St. Joe's, or can St. Joe's wrestle the ball back and get themselves back into the contest, because right now it's one way. Oh, drop ball. The referees decided that was a knockback.
Westchester, with all the jump in their step right now. Our score is back, our clock. You can see that we're all tied at 33 with 16 minutes to go. You can also see the effects of the wind that's blowing through here as you see our clock and our scoreboard shake, but it might have something to do with the 1,500 people who have gathered here to watch this big match, pounding on the bleachers right now on both sides.
Yeah, they're very happy. You've got the Westchester fans that are making some noise, and we've got the St. Joe's fans that are trying to work out whether they get a chance to celebrate something there at the moment, because it's a one-way street.
And there's some of the Westchester fans swearing their school colors. Came down about 19 miles from the little town of Westchester, not far from here on the outskirts of Philadelphia. So we've got some injuries on the field, and the guys get a little bit of a break, Dave. And meanwhile, the clock continues to move, tied at 33.
Yeah, 33 apiece. I think the referee's going to stop the clock down there on his watch, but we'll soon know. But there's a great crowd in, and they're being very, very, very entertained.
Nick Judovic has been so much a part of this second half comeback, and now a yellow card has been shown to Noah. Is that right?
Yeah, he sent him off for 10 minutes. It's interesting. Everyone's involved now. We got touch judges, we got referees reaching into their pockets. The fans are loving it. Everyone's happy.
Oh boy. Noah Numadoalu, who's the St. Joe's captain, is the key to their attack and has at least 2 scoring saving tackles in this game on the back line, sort of like a free safety, has been sent off. And right now, the complexion of this match has changed 180 degrees, David.
Yeah.
The Hawks were up 21 points. Now they're fighting for their lives.
And you think about it, ref. We talked about Lou, about the referee being involved. That's 3 yellow cards. So, he's certainly made himself a focal piece of the game. He's in the white shirt, so you can't miss him.
Nick Judovic with the ball right now. He's been huge in the second half. And again, Westchester breaking tackles. Moving onto the St. Joe's side of the field. Another one.
Here they come.
They have the extra adrenaline. They smell it right now. They were down 21. Here they come.
They've had a mountain of possession, so here they come again on the outside. They've got some space. That's Ryan Morley on the wing.
Whoops. Substitutions for St. Joseph's.
Lots of substitutions.
Now on the field, yeah.
Finn Toot on the right wing for Matt Riotto.
And John Ahern into the game.
You got John Ahern. Curley's come on in for, I believe it is Liam McGowan, and we've got Sean McDermott at the back for Connor McAuliffe.
Ahern coming off a tremendous scoring game and the season-ending win 79-6 over Pittsburgh.
Shane Goldsmith into the game as well. So it's a St. Joe's line out.
I'm Lou Tilley, along with David New.
They'll be happy to have some possession, St. Joe's, so let's see if they can make some good use of it and try and get themselves some momentum here.
Stay with us, folks. This championship game is living up to its billing right now. Under 13 minutes to play at Swinney Field on the campus of St. Joe's University. We're all tied at 33.
Great drive from St. Joe's, and this has been a bit of a differential. You know, when St. Joe's have had the ball, they've been able to create, but unfortunately for them, they've been turning the ball over in critical situations and really giving Westchester some life. And to Westchester's credit, they've taken advantage of every opportunity that's been
Westchester, maybe the surprise team of the year in the conference that includes Temple, Rowan, Pittsburgh, West Virginia, IUP. Only one loss on their regular season, and it was against these St. Joe's Hawks a couple of weeks ago, and here they are.
Yeah, and it's a program on the rise. They've got some good coaches over there, as you mentioned. Bjorn was part of the pre-game show, and an old teammate, Marsh Pennington Puddinhead, who's done a lot of great work with Scott Brown to get these guys, you know, focused, skilled up, and ready to play.
We should mention the winner of this match as a conference champion will go to the national playoffs. But most people do expect the loser to also get an at-large bid and participate in the national playoffs as well.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting finish here, Lou. We got Curley on the field here, a young freshman from Downingtown High School, who's come into the game. But there's a turnover. It's interesting there, Lou, because there's a pickup and a dump, but one player goes to the sin bin, and here it's play on. Great inside ball there from Nick Udovich.
Udovich has just been a force in the second half. Out of Archmere Academy in Delaware, the captain of this Westchester team. Sent off for 10 minutes. Here's another break for Westchester.
There's a lot of people reaching.
Breaks it towards the end zone. It's a try.
And a great try there from Max Bryson, his second.
And the Rams now lead. Down 21 points. They have taken the lead.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to look at in terms of you look at the replay. Some of these guys are going to have to look at the game tape after this and understand whether they want to make an arm tackle or they want to get involved with their shoulder and get closer into contact, because there's a lot of reaching going on in red jerseys.
You're talking my sport now, and I know just what you mean. They're running through those arm tackles right now.
Yeah, they certainly are. And it's all downhill for Westchester. So if that continues, this scoreboard could change dramatically in only one team's favor, because one team's running and one team's not tackling.
Ryan Morley now with the two-point conversion. They lead by 5 at 38-33 with 10:25 to go. Only one failed conversion by Westchester. How big does that look right now? He approaches the left foot, and he hooks it this time. It's wide right. It's no good. So we're off center as far as a tie is concerned. St. Joe's with a try could tie, and a two-point conversion could win it. The man that we just saw with that kick tells us what he thought would be the key to a Westchester win today.
The key for our team to win is execution and discipline. As long as we can execute and stay disciplined, we'll have no issue.
And just listen to this crowd, and if we can get a shot of it, everybody on their feet. What a wonderful day of rugby it's been. Westchester moving right to left, and now with the lead. For the first time today at 38-33.
Good carry down the short side here again for Westchester. They're going to rumble upfield. D'Angelo with a little snipe around the outside, but didn't go anywhere.
And every play is critical right now.
Yeah, it really is. It'll be interesting to see how St. Joe's respond to this onslaught at the moment. There's Nick again with plenty of time. Again, we talked about it. St. Joe's needs some possession, and they just haven't had it. And it's been a difficult period for them the last 25 minutes.
And St. Joe's playing right now for, I think, all but the last 3 minutes without their captain, who was sent off on a yellow card. Deep kick into St. Joe's territory. That's the factor of the win that we talked about.
Sean McDermott with a return. Here comes Mike Hoffman, who will look for a little bit of space.
He's running wide, looking for some help. And now determined to hold on and keep possession for the Hawks. As they come out of it. It's been a while since the speedier Hawks have been able to break through this defense.
It has been, but this guy can make a difference
here
on
goes!
his own. One player can make a difference, and it could be him. Here's the guy we talked about, Lou, that he needed the ball and he needed it early and he needed it at that critical time, and that's why he's one of the players I think is a rising superstar in rugby.
Around
Keshkigian.
Keshkigian breaks it just as we talk about it for 85 meters, all the way for the score to tie it for the Hawks.
It's a fantastic try. It's a great effort. The boys chanced their luck on the outside there, but my feeling and my thought was if he got a chance to be matched up one-on-one, he was going to cause some havoc, and he did. But I'll tell you this now, Lou, watching the St. Joe's team from here, I think there's a whole lot of stuff where they're worrying about who's cheering in the crowd, and they're worrying about that 5 points, rather than worrying about the next 7 minutes. I'd be concerned if I was them.
Yep, good call, David. Here it is, a replay. And watch to the far side, just a little bit of daylight.
Here's why they call him the Cash Express. Goodbye, see you later to the winger, Klecko.
Great pass by Curley.
See you later to Salom, and he has the wheels and the strength and the stamina to take it to the house.
And the conversion is up and good. And with that, St. Joseph has not only tied it, but by converting for the 2 points on the kick, the Hawks have retaken the lead from the Rams. St. Joe's 40, Westchester 38. 6:58 to go.
I tell you what, Lou, whichever side of the field I was on here, on the Westchester side or the St. Joe's side of the fan, I wouldn't be going to the bathroom. I'd be here for this next 7 minutes getting ready for a wonderful, wonderful finish.
Matt, let's go down to you. These fans are on fire right now, Matt.
Hey, Lou. Hey, Dave. I'm here with the St. Joe's Rugby women's team. How's it going, guys?
Good. It's really great.
So can you tell us a little bit about how the game's going today and what your thoughts are on it?
Our whole team came out to support, and we think it's been such an exciting game.
Yeah, honestly, you can really see the men's dedication and their fight to win because they're not giving up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
They're really putting their hearts out on the field. Like, we couldn't ask for more from them.
Yeah, you can definitely see all the hard work they put in this season.
For sure, for sure. Thank you, guys. It's important to note that Aram Keshkigian is a game changer. He wants it, and you can see it. So thank you, guys, once again, and back to you, Lou and Dave.
All right, Dave, to reset, the Hawks now have the lead, and they've got to play defense.
Yeah, tough start. Kick off, easy two-hand catch, gets turned over. Westchester scrum in a really, really positive position here, so it's going to be a tough stop here for St. Joe's. Down a man still. So there's Nick with a carry. He'll just drift across field and try and pull the runners out of the line, take the option, run himself, or catch and pass.
Nearly.
Those arm tackles
yes,
are counting now.
I saw it. That was 3 tacklers, and he still almost broke through. Westchester just pounding forward now as they have for much of the second half.
Shane to a turn.
They were down 3 scores, down 21 points, rallied to take the lead. But now St. Joe's has answered. They lead by 2. Clock is a factor.
Nick with a crossfield carry and a big, strong run from Ryan Sawley.
And a turnover.
Tanel Makarath takes off. He finds Mike Hoffman on the left side there. And Curley, the young freshman.
Ahern.
In and away.
Still going.
Can he go all the way?
Oh,
Mike
great pass.
Coming. We got one more phase. Tanner McElrath's there with a recycle.
They have worked that far wing, David, to great success in their last 2 possessions.
They certainly have. And I tell you, you got to give some credit here. You know, this is the thing that interests me is that we got a game going on, and we got St. Joe's guys walking over, looking at the crowd, trying to get the crowd up.
Watching too much
Turn
NFL
around and go
football.
play some rugby. Look at this on the tape later through the week, guys. It's embarrassing. Play some rugby. Oh, sorry. That was the coach coming out.
There's the coach. There's the Australian national champion right there. We love it. Thanks, Dave. Let it go, baby.
On the plus side, it was a great carry from the short side. Tanner set it up. Got
Curley
it to Mikey Hoffman, and they came back. Noah's back into the game now for the final 4 minutes.
And, you know, Ahern made the great pass that sprung the try just a minute ago.
Yeah.
And there he was on the run, nearly broken himself.
A young player I have a lot of time for, and he's made a difference when he's come into this game. So there'll be some interesting feedback at the end of this game about player performances and, you know, who rose to the challenge and who struggled a little bit here. But that makes for a great game and a great contest, and that's what I love about rugby.
So Nua Matawalo's back in after sitting out for 10 minutes, and this could work out perfectly for the Hawks. So he's got some fresh legs now, the quarterback of the St. Joe's team.
And they're upright here, so it'll be interesting to see if they can get into a good drive position, and they haven't. They're in a negative now, but it's it looks like it's been turned over.
We thank you for tuning in today and for all our sponsors.
That's a Westchester scrum. 25 metres out from their own try line, 3 minutes on the clock, 2 points down on the scoreboard with a lot of field position and a lot of space to come. But I'm telling you what, I'm not counting this Westchester Rams team out, Lou.
No, and with the wind at the back, they've used the kicking game very effectively to flip the field here in the second half. So we line up, engage, and here we go.
These fans are happy, they're excited.
They have everybody on their feet. That's probably where we lost the power.
Let's see the line speed. Let's see through the hands for Westchester. Oh, it's a tough spin. It's off the left foot of Ryan Sawley.
Oh, and it hangs up there.
Oh, the referee's gotten involved and called. I don't know what he's called there. I think he's called scrum half Tanner offside. It's a tough call.
You are flummoxed by the officiating today.
No, you know what? I think it's a fair crack. You know, you want these fans. You've got people here that have come to watch some rugby, and they want to play. And,
let them play.
You know, unfortunately, sometimes the whistle, or maybe it's the wind blowing the whistle too many times. But
Dave, I got to ask you about the clock now. We're not locked into a finish at 000 here, right?
It's a little tricky because you've got a running clock on the scoreboard, and for us, but you've got a referee out there with a watch on his wrist. So the question's got to be, is he in control or is the scoreboard in control? But that was an interesting decision not to go for a kick there for touch.
Now, there have been some injuries stoppages here in the second half. Does that factor in?
They have, yeah, and we'll see.
Oh, very nearly.
The referee's called that ball's going backwards. Oh, it's a turnover by St. Joe's. This could be telling again. There he goes, the Express.
The Express in for the try.
You know what, I got to tell you something about this kid. He also has been struggling with a leg injury, and you don't see it. You'll probably see it here. This is how tough this boy is. He pulled out of practice yesterday afternoon because he had a leg injury, and now you see the first time he's limping.
Aran Keshkigian with consecutive tries for the Hawks, rather 2 of the last 3, and has reversed this thing again. Just when Westchester looked like they had seized the opportunity for the upset, now St. Joe's, you would think, feeling good about things at 45-38 pending this 2-point try. And it's Sean McDermott. McDermott to make the attempt from the far right hash. A severe angle.
Yeah, tough angle. But you know what, Lou? You got to look at this game and you got to think about it in terms of possession. And the last couple of possessions that St. Joe's have had, which have been few and far between. What a great kick, but the wind's got it.
Ooh, the wind swatted it down.
So
like
we're still within 1 score.
It's a 7-point game. Westchester can still tie this game.
And the better part is nobody's sure yet what the deal is with the clock.
We're down to 20 seconds on the official clock. It's not. The referee has the watch. Not sure about injury time. Dave?
I saw the referee put his fingers up there, and I think he's shown 2 more minutes.
2 minutes.
There's the kickoff. Let's see if they can get a good recycle. Noah's underneath. It's going backwards.
Possession is everything now for the Hawks, clinging to a 7-point lead. They saw a 21-point lead go away entirely, but have recaptured it.
They're just looking to take control of possession around the tight and the fringe here, but we'll see if that pays off. A little indecision. Now we're going to push it out to the winger who's isolated. Comes off his left foot and a carry. Nice tackle there from Klecko. Apparently from Chesterstock, young Jake Klecko.
Oh, yes.
Football family.
Very, very well-known name here. Dan and Joe, the father and son, footballers. Temple.
Crowd's quiet. They're on the edge of their seat here, Lou.
They're not sure because we're reading 000s on the scoreboard, as you can see, but we think there's about 1.5 minutes left of time here.
Great finish, isn't it? Isn't it exciting? Saturday afternoon, sun shining.
Beautiful day.
St. Joe's have got the ball. They're rumbling. It's all going left and right and going nowhere at the moment. Pick and drive. I don't know whether that's going to pay off, but we'll see.
Keep possession. Keep possession. No turnovers.
Somebody tell us how much time's left. Mickey Chappell with a carry.
I've got 1 minute left, Dave. I've been clocking it on my phone here. And I've got 1 minute left, if indeed there were 2 minutes.
Tell you what, it's not a bad finish from St. Joe's if they can maintain possession this way. It's
fabulous.
It's a grind, but I tell you, they're working hard for each other and trying to work the clock down and maintain this lead. 7 points in it. What a great afternoon this has been.
Very smart here, trying to run out the
clock. Great counter from Westchester, and it's turned over.
Oh, boy. I've got 45 seconds left on my clock.
Here we go.
And Westchester will possess it. The Rams with 1 shot left.
So if you ask me, with 1 shot left in this clock where it's at and the scoreboards are at, I'd be putting the ball in the hands of my best people. So today, you want to make sure Judovic gets it early, and you want to make sure the 2 centers get a chance to have a crack, and the same with that fullback.
The clock, we believe, is wrong. We believe it's 45-38, not 47-38.
I'm not sure, mate.
They missed the try. The try was no good. So Westchester with their last try. They've corrected the clock now. It's a 7-point differential with about 30 seconds left. The whistle could end this at any moment on a change of possession. But no, Westchester holds on. Sloppy with the ball and
a bit of a loose carry there. Let's look at the referees. Going for
possession to St. Joseph's, and that'll be it.
And that's time. What a battle.
What a finish. The Hawks led 19-12 at the break. Stretched that lead out to 21 points. Saw it all go away as the Westchester Rams took the lead. But then rally with consecutive tries to not only come back and tie, but in the end, the St. Joe's Hawks emerge as the conference champs again. The final, Hawks 45, Westchester 38.
Yeah, heck of a finish, Lou. It's one of those games where it's sad that someone has to lose.
Right.
You know, feel good for both teams. They put in a great effort, certainly entertained the crowd. Been a wonderful afternoon. St. Joe's get the cookies, but I tell you what, Westchester were in this thing right up to their eyeballs, and unfortunate at the end, just didn't go their way.
Championship in every way you can imagine, Dave. Great comeback by Westchester. Extremely well played first half. 2 teams that clearly were the best of the division battle it out for the championship today with the Hawks finishing on top, 45-38. We're going to keep it here and go down and talk with the MVP. Dave, you got any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's why we're in the sports business, Lou, isn't it?
Right.
You come up with some opportunities for some young men to contest and challenge each other and work out who's the best for that given moment. And at the end, shake hands and get on with it and be proud of what they've accomplished and move forward.
Nice moment here as the Westchester players come over and salute their fans who turned out in big numbers here. And you can see the Hawk fans, led by Noah, the captain, doing the same thing with their fans to our left. And it's a nice sized crowd that turned out today on a beautiful day. It started off kind of stormy, but the fans never gave up on their team. And the Hawks reward them with a championship.
Yeah. Super effort from both teams, and super effort from both fans. I tell you what, they drove their teams home. Westchester's fans really gave their team some momentum. The St. Joe's fans went quiet there for a little window in the second half for good reason, but they're very happy right now.
And then everyone held their breath. We weren't quite sure how much time was left, but we were pretty close, keeping track of it up here. And in the end, the Hawks not only take the lead, but hold on to win it. Next step for them, they'll go on to the national playoffs. Next step for us, we're going to keep it right here. We're going to go down to the field and listen to the post-game ceremonies, the awarding of the MVP. I know Matt's down there with his microphone, and he's going to go out and catch some of the announcements for us right now. Live, Matt, why don't you go out there to catch some of the PA announcement and the announcement of the champions and the MVP.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big thank you for coming out today to the MARC Rugby Championship.
A big thank you for coming out today to the MARC Rugby Championship. First, we would like to thank the Westchester Rams for coming out today, and we would like to award them with the second place trophy for the MARC Rugby Championship. Let's hear it one more time for the Westchester Rams. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very happy to announce today's MARC Conference Rugby Championship champions are your St. Joseph's University Hawks! Let's hear it one more time for your St. Joe's Hawks!
You've got to give this award to Judovic.
Hey, boys. Boys, come on in. All right, I'd like to present the Hey guys, what's up? I'd like to present the Most Valuable Player Award. But before I do that, I want to certainly thank the fans. You guys were fantastic, both Westchester's side and St. Joe's side, so give yourselves a big round of applause. Thank you. I'd like to just acknowledge Westchester again. Great game here, a great show for the fans. Another big, huge round of applause for all the Westchester Rams. Good job. You know, when we looked at this game, they were calling for rain and all that, but we got a connection upstairs with Mark Dombrowski, and really, he did us a solid today with getting the beautiful blue sky here and really pushing these guys on through. So 2 thumbs up for Mark. And then lastly, to the MVP award. we have so many worthy candidates of this, but I'm so glad that we had him for a 5th year. The Cash Express was loose today. Let's go, Cash. And head over to the line.
Thank you, fans, for coming out tonight. Let's hear it one more time for your St. Joseph's University Hawks. Ladies and gentlemen, please get home safe. Thank you for coming out today. It was a wonderful day of Hawks rugby at St. Joseph's University, Sweeney Field.
And the MVP going to the Cash Express. Aram Kashkian, not a great surprise. Udovic could have carried it away, David, even in the loss today.
Yeah, you look at the outcome and, you know, it's thumbs up for Cash, but you have a look at the effort of Nick Udovic and the crowd here. It's been
there's the scene.
And it's been a great
Look at
atmosphere.
that.
It's been fun. It's been exciting.
That must make you feel
enjoyable.
good to see that scene right there.
Oh, it really does. That's what it's all about, right? We play hard, we play fair, but hey, we play for fun for sure.
I gotta tell you, David, there's something here. When you talk about professional sports, we're in it. You and I have worked together for 6-7 years. There's something special here, and congratulations to you and the people of St. Joe's and our sponsors who made this possible. Rough as it's been at times today, I think you got the essence of a terrific sport that is developing here in the United States. The second most popular sport in all of the world, folks, and getting its due now in the United States.
Yeah, it's great to see a little snapshot of it here this afternoon at the campus of St. Joe's in Philadelphia.
Good term.
It's a growing program. It's an exciting program, but again, you can't forget the other team in the battle, Westchester. You know, disappointed as they are, and as hardy as they were in the contest, you've really got to give them a cheer for what they did today and how hard they played, and good luck to them as they move on.
Matt Lydon has done a great job with us on the sidelines today. He's down on the field right now, and he's going to talk with our MVP of the tournament. And Matt, go over there and just stick your head in there as soon as they get that picture, Matt. Just walk on out there. Go ahead, Matt. Okay. Matt, can you hear us? Just go ahead and walk out there. Just walk out. We'll follow you. We see you. Matt. Okay, it's not working today.
It's like the Super Bowl down there.
There we go. There, Shags is calling the shots, like he always does. Our producer, and Dan, great job. And Matt, I don't know if you can hear us, but you're on the air. And I think he's having a problem hearing us. He can't hear. Matt?
We're going. Sorry, guys. Apologies. I'm here with I was calling Coach New. I'm here with head coach Daniel Russo. Awesome win today, first off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you tell us a little bit about that second half feeling you had in your stomach and what you thought of Aram Keshkagan's performance in the last 10 minutes?
All right, well, first with the second half, it was gut-wrenching a little bit. The Westchester is such a fantastic team. They, presented a lot of challenges for us. I'm just really happy that the guys hung in there and didn't put their heads down and kept grinding. And, we really hopped on, all of us hopped on that Kesh Express. And, he took us away, got 2 tries there in the second half that proved to be pivotal for us. So I can't be happier for him in his 5th year here at St. Joe's, yeah.
For sure. And congratulations to you as well. It was a great season.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Very excited for 7. Yep,
yeah,
there we go. Let's go. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Back to you, Lou.
Thanks, Matt. Matt has lost his communication down there in the field, and we were literally giving him hand signals, and then he was calling Dave on the cell phone to find out what his next move was. But meanwhile, Matt's going to try and corral some of the other players on the field, or else bring them up to the box so we can talk to them.
Be nice to bring a couple up to the box, wouldn't it?
So we'll keep it right here. Here comes. Yeah, I'd like to talk with them myself. Here comes the Kesh Express right now. And let's go down with Matt live again.
I'm here with Aram Keshkegian, the man of the match, the MVP. Tell us a little bit about what was going through in that second half. We came out in the second half with a lead, but then it slowly caught back up on us.
Well, we started when we went to half. We were kind of upset with how the first half ended, so we talked about it. We wanted to come out with no penalties. Obviously, that didn't happen, but after we started realizing that this was a game again, we started clawing back. Props to Westchester for keeping the foot on the pedal, but we really wanted this. So I think in the end, everything just came over us. We're family, and we just kept fighting together.
Awesome. Now, I have one more question for you. I'm sure all the fans want to know, what was going through your mind when you were running down here to put the score right under the post? What were you thinking about? What was going through your head?
The only thing I was thinking was just do not get caught. That was it. Just don't get caught.
Aram, you played a great game, great player. Thank you for everything. Had a great season.
Thank you, guys.
Now for Nationals. Back to you, Lou. Back to you, Dave.
Bring him up.
Right, thank you, Matt, very much. And I think we're going to hand it off to Chris, who gets a chance to talk. Dave, talk about Udovich in the game he played here today before we hear from him.
Oh, he was involved in everything, wasn't he, Nick? It was offense, it was defense, it was bringing them back from the brink of defeat. It was leading them forward into the lead. It was every moment that we needed, and so happy for him. Unfortunately, he lost.
Let's go down to Chris DeWeese now, who's standing by.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Nick Udovich, star player for Westchester University. He had 3 tries today. Nick, I know you played a great game, but your team didn't come out on top. Can you just talk about how proud you are of all your fans and the teammates and the effort you guys put forth today?
Yeah, man, it was an unbelievable game. These guys on this Westchester team have come so far from my freshman year to now my junior year. It's insane to see. The crowds have gotten bigger, the team's gotten better. Everybody is just on that upward trend. So it's great to be able to do it here at St. Joe's. I went to high school with Mark Dombrowski, so it's really great to put on for him on his home field.
Yeah, definitely. It was a great game. Both teams had an amazing effort. Thanks. Back to you guys in the booth.
Tell you what, you got a feel for him, haven't you? It was a fantastic performance, and it's fitting. It was really nice that he got to speak to his old teammate, football teammate, in Chris DeWeese, and share a few thoughts with us about the contest and the performance. But
That's kind of smart, though, huh? I mean, the way they came back, Dave, now 21 points, took the lead, and then to lose it again, that's really got to hurt.
Yeah, that one hurts. And I think it's one of those contests that's going to live long in their memory for the moments that they thought they were going to end it and put it away, and unfortunately they didn't get where they needed to at the back end. Well, I tell you what, there's some great fans here. They're all over.
Well,
the
they're
place.
celebrating. That's the great tradition lives on. The St. Joe's fans and some of our favorite players enjoying themselves right now. And speaking of which,
it's an exciting tailgate in the background there, Lou. They're enjoying it, so we should probably flip the camera around and
I better close the door
and enjoy that. But we got Noah and George coming to the booth, the captains from St. Joe's, and be really looking forward to hearing what they have to say.
Yeah, and here comes Matt, who I've been directing with my hands and voice from outside. Nice job, Matt. Before we lose the air, back in the truck, we're going to put the guest headsets on a guest. And it looks like Noah will be our first guest here in the booth. Noah, put your headsets on. Give me a test, make sure we hear you.
Test 1, 2.
Very good.
There
Your mic works. Noah, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Let me just carry for your dad for a minute, who showed tremendous patience and reservation when you were sent off with a yellow card for 10 of the final 13 minutes. What happened, and what were you thinking?
It's funny because the thing I was thinking right after it happened, I was going to look up here and look for my dad because I knew he was going to be a little upset about that. But the strong runner came to the line, I mean, he had at least 100 pounds on me. I thought if I picked up one leg, we'd be about the same weight. Ended up getting a yellow card for it.
So you were actually penalized for being too rough, or
It
illegal
was
tackle?
a dangerous tackle.
Dangerous tackle.
It was a bit dangerous.
Did you agree with that call? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's part of the rugby code, isn't it? To be respectful to the
right.
official. There were a lot of penalties in the second half, a lot of stoppages of play.
Right.
Was it uneven for you guys? Is that how you lost some of your momentum?
I think a little bit. When we were getting penalized, they were marched down the field, and they're pretty effective inside our 22, scoring the ball like a goal line offense. They're pretty
Yes.
good in the red zone.
Yes.
And when we get penalized and they march down the field like that, it's pretty tough to play defense when they're inside real close to the line. So I thought that affected our game a little bit.
Your dad has just given up his headset. Introduce your teammate.
Right here, we got our big fella, number 8 man, fellow captain of mine, George Harris.
George, congratulations.
Thank you.
The two of you came over when it was over and came in front of your home fans. Was that the best crowd you've ever had here at St. Joe's, by the way?
I'd say so, yeah.
Is that something?
I think it's fair to say that, yeah.
What are both of you feeling on a general level about the growth of your sport, as evidenced here today from both schools?
Well, it's just
Go ahead,
awesome.
yeah.
It's awesome to see that the rugby getting this much support at a club level in a collegiate university in America. I mean, it's just really awesome to see the way that we've been adapted and we've been become more accepted by the school. And things like that. I mean, we have such an awesome and unique fan base, and it's really, really tight, well-backed support group, and we really appreciate them coming out and supporting us.
All right, before we leave the game story, you got to give Westchester credit. They're down 21 points. They come at you hard at the start of the second half, but you counter for the 85-yard try that seems to take the wind out of their sails. You go up by 21, and you lose the lead. How did that happen?
Well, I mean, we were playing a little bit sloppier as the game continued on. Our guys got a little bit tired. And credit to Westchester, they took advantage of the mistakes that we made in our play and made some nice plays of their own. So credit to where credit's due, and they really capitalized in the second half. They're a second-half team, and we knew that coming into this week. Similar story to our last meeting with them. They really stormed back in the second half and really gave us a run for our money. So we were expecting that, and they really played well. Credit to them.
And Noah, you're penned into your own end then. They've got all the momentum. You're doing nothing. And you hadn't had a long breakout run, and all of a sudden Kesh gets free and the floodgates open.
Yeah, basically my thought process in that play is when we're in trouble, look for the man with the big arm and big fend, and he'll give us a chance no matter where we are in the field. So give it to one of our best players, give the ball to one of our best players, see what he can do, and effectively he made a great run and changed the game for us, I think.
And George, tell us about at the end now. You're up, but you're protecting the lead. They still could tie. You're not sure how much clock is left. What was your approach defensively at that point?
So we really just wanted to make sure that we maintained possession of the ball as much as possible, gave them as little time with the ball, and keep the ball with us in our area where we can control it and really not let them get an opportunity to score or make a play happen.
And guys, it's not over now. You go to the Nationals? Noah?
Yep. We have a week off. We'll have to recover a bit. Definitely sharpen a few skills, sharpen a few things on our end. But then a week after that, we should head down to, I believe it's Emmitsburg, Maryland, for the first round of Nationals. So we're looking to get a good showing there.
Oh, I see. Noah's got the headsets on. He hears the producer, and he's confused by it. This is why I say stupid things on the air all the time. George, thank you. Noah, thank you.
So much.
Give your
Appreciate
headsets
it.
back to Mr. David
you.
here, and
Well
we're going to wrap. Congratulations,
everything.
guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Very, very nice. And another lovely thing I love about covering the sport is really sharp young men who express themselves well. They're very confident in front of the cameras and the microphones. Very positive, Dave. And what you say, David New, is that this sport is a package of not only great athleticism, but fellowship and camaraderie is part of the fabric of the sport.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's the essence of the sport. You know, it's exactly what we're looking for in terms of what we want to see in the community, isn't it? And that's the upside. That's the beauty of the game itself and everything about it. I couldn't be prouder of everyone involved in the game today, and the exciting nature of obviously the contest, but more so, what we all leave with. Feel good about ourselves, feel good about the sport, and we grow it and we move forward.
David and I have been working together on sports projects for the better part of 7 years now, and I'm so happy to get to learn his game after he was involved in my game for so long. There's so many similarities, but I love it, and hope you did too. Before we leave, Dave, one more pitch for the Mark Dombrowski Foundation, how people can get involved to help out number 15, and all the things in his memory that they intend to help through the Dombrowski Foundation. Yeah,
it's been a theme of our season, hasn't it? You know, Mark is close to our hearts and close to our thoughts and prayers, and there's an opportunity for us all to give back and reach out and see how we can be involved in this foundation for education, safety, and athletes. And there it is, Mark Dombrowski Foundation, markdombrowskifoundation.org. Get involved, check it out, and see how you might be able to contribute.
Do we have some highlights to go out on as you look at the Hagen Arena, the home of Phil Martelli's St. Joe's Hawks basketball, the Lady Hawks as well?
Oh, I think the rugby team might be the #1 program here at the moment, Lou.
Very nice. As we say goodbye, I want to thank St. Joe's University, Don DiGiulio, athletic director, all the fine folks here on Hawk Hills through the 30 years that I've been here in Philadelphia. Oy.
Angie Nagel, fantastic, runs the recreation department and
Shags.
really support us. And Shags, and look at his kids who were out there earlier in the day. You know, we got Carter and the girls running around, and they're all having fun. And it's been an exciting family event. And I tell you what a great crowd, Lou.
Very good. Nice job, Dave. Congratulations.
Thanks, mate.
It's been fun.
Great fun.
We'll
Thank
see you soon. Enjoy these as we leave you from Hawk Hill. St. Joe's wins the MARC.